Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only local live streaming podcast of its kind. We're coming to you from the Legacy Studios in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene, and today we're here with Wilkes-Barre blues rock band Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentlemen, who just released a new album, Black Leather Blues. We're drinking the band's new beer from Benny Brewing and talking about why rock music and black leather is still cool. The stories that inspired their new songs, writing memorable hooks and riffs. You like that one? Signing to MoMojo Records, recording with Paul Smith at 8 Days a Week Studios, the making of their music videos, music marketing, and building an image. Their recent release show at the River Street Jazz Cafe, an upcoming concert at the Monchunk Opera House in Jim Thorpe, and much, much more. So please stay tuned for the full hour. We'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. So anything you want to add to the conversation, any questions you got for these guys, make sure you leave that down below. Like, share, all that good stuff. Help us put some good stuff into the algorithm for once. Before we dive in, I want to thank Josh Balls for letting us use his recording studio. He is the owner of the Strange and Unusual Oddities Parlor in Kingston, as well as Noir Dark Spirits in Scranton. His head is kind of popping up down there. And his latest venture is Legacy Studios. So go follow them on Instagram at Legacy Recording PA and book a session at legacyrecordingpa.com. That's probably the first time he's ever heard that ad read. Did I do a good job? Oh, cool. He likes it, so we're all good then. We will have more episodes here as a result. Also, I want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, merchbooth.com, for providing all the great audio and video equipment that powers the NEPA Scene Podcast, including Mr. John Fry at the booth back there. Merch Booth helps entertainers, podcasters, and influencers create and sell merch online. If you already have designs, you can get started right away for free. However, if you prefer to have Merch Booth create some kick-ass designs along with $1,000 in annual benefits, you can become a Merch Booth VIP member for only $19.99 a month. Learn more and sign up at merchbooth.com. Make sure to check out us on Merch Booth. Are you guys on Merch Booth as well?
Right now we aren't, but I was around when Chris just kind of like started that, and it was it's a super cool idea. It's really great for people that kind of can't like come up with that initial,
right?
Like that's really
capital,
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had it when I was,
just started out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you guys get your stuff printed at Axelrad.
Yes, we do. Shout out to Tyler and everybody at Axelrad.
Yeah, Axelrad is the one behind the scenes making all that happen. So
yeah.
They make the t-shirts one thread at a time.
All right, so let's dive into it. How did you guys originally meet?
Oh man, I mean, Matt knows how long ago. How long ago was it?
It will be 10 years this September.
Okay, it'll be 10 years this September. Awesome. And then I think me and Tommy played together first.
2 years.
2
or 3.
For 2 years, we were in a couple bands and just playing with each other through the scene. Our mutual friend Brett Alexander and Paul Young, and then where did you come from?
So I lurking in the shadows. I was waiting for like, hey there,
you guys need a bass?
You guys need a little bass? You guys, I got a nice shiny bass. No. I do. But anyways, I had actually just recently got off the road with the band called Miz, short for Mike Miz. And that iteration of that project was coming to an end. And so I was available, and we actually had a mutual friend, I think Justin Mather, actually, that you reached out to.
Because he was in that, because
he and I were, musician, buddies and friends. So I think that was the catalyst to playing it. And I know you're looking for a bass player, having just recorded your first album, the solo album, Black Stars and Starlight.
And then that kind of turned into like the chemistry kind of here. But man, that's kind of like when we talk about it like that, like that's how a scene should work. You know what I mean? Like this dude knew this dude who wasn't, and so man, that's cool how it happened. Yeah, 10 years ago. Damn.
10 years in September.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a 10-year anniversary?
We're gonna have to do something cool.
What do you buy somebody for the 10-year anniversary? Is it, you know how there's like different medals?
Right.
I don't think any of us in this room know yet.
I'm like, man, I've done anything for you.
Little promise rings, maybe.
Yeah, we'll figure something. We're gonna get each other jackets.
I often joke. I'm like, because man, like, you know, a lot has transpired over the past 10 years, not just in the music, but in our lives.
Sure.
And it's like, you know, I haven't had the same job for that duration. I haven't had the same, you know, girlfriend, wife, you know, whatever. So it's like, man, I've done anything this long in my life except for
we all had to deal with all that, you know.
Well, you know, yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. You know what they say, you lean on the people closest to you. So
Well, you know, that leads into my next question. What keeps you guys together for that long?
I mean,
music.
Yeah.
Music number one. I would say the music, because we just have the same ideas. We think alike. First time I heard Dustin play, I said, I want to play with this guy. There's no doubt in my mind. I knew it. And as soon as Matt got involved in the project, I'm like, we have a winner. We have a winning team.
That is very true. I mean, I'm a fan of this band more than anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fan of this band, and I'm a fan of the music we make. And I'm a fan of the way these guys play. But man, we also get along real well, man, and it makes life a lot easier. You know, and that we're really good friends, like best friends, and so that just makes things, man. It's good. It's all good.
So when did you know, your first practice, you know, getting together and everything like that, did kind of songs just start coming, or is that something that takes a while to build up to?
We already had the album.
So the solo album was already kind of a jump off. So that was already written. Tommy recorded on that. So then that was kind of our jump off. And then I'm constantly writing. So this, you know, I'm sure there was already ideas, and then there was a lot of music that just came quickly and organically, which ended up being our self-titled record. Right. Man, and the well hasn't dried up since, so it's kind of cool. You know, we just kind of get in a room and see what happens, and I bring in ideas, and you know, what the hell was that you just played? Play it again. You know, no, that wasn't it.
We all have kind of an idea how we want to write a song now, so we're all on the same page. It makes it real easy.
Yeah, man.
So you guys all had you know, previous projects and things that you did before this band. How did maybe some of those experiences influence what you brought to this band, or, you know, maybe you decided to approach things similarly or differently depending on how they went before that?
It's probably going to be different for all of us. I mean, for me personally, I came from more of like a jam band background. So again, you know, it's sort of a different approach than how you know, approach a rock tune, for example,
Sure.
or the bass line that you would play for a rock tune. So you know, there was a certain busy aspect to my playing. You might say there still is a busy aspect to my playing.
What? Did he say was?
So I think, you know, and Dustin was very upfront and, you know, sort of pulling back on the reins a little bit. And then, you know, it was up for me to sort of, you know, find that appropriate middle ground that, you know, was, you know, purposeful for the song. But then, you know, there's things to take away from that because we are a trio. We're a power trio. So being able to fill that space when necessary really helped. And then also me learning when not to play too, to when it serves the song appropriately. So, you know, it's the, you know, for me, it was, you know, finding, you know, understanding my prior busy style and then dialing it back and using it as appropriately going forward. So that would, how would I would quantify that?
Yeah, I kind of the same thing Matt was saying. It's
yeah, I mean,
the bands I was in Strawberry Jam band, and then I played in the wedding band, New York Times band, which is a great thing because you play all styles of music. And I love all styles of music, from funk to reggae. And coming from that into the band, it's just taking everything that you learned in life playing and just putting it all together. And like Matt would say, learning when not to play, when to play, but have the strength and the power when we want to take it to a high point. And you know, these two guys definitely have it. So it's wonderful for me. They make it easy. You know, that's the way I feel about it.
I mean, that solo record came off the heels of me being in the Badleys. And then prior to that, I was in like my first band, which we did a couple records called Lemon Jelly, which was a power trio, like a rock and roll power trio. So the Badleys thing was kind of like, song based, really cool, like power pop, awesome songs, structured tunes. So I came out of that, and I kind of like, in retrospect, I kind of brought back the power trio, but then took those ideas from the Badleys and kind of like made this power trio with hookier songs. And that's what I feel like we're doing now. But man, it's just a beautiful thing. Sometimes you get in a room with musicians and it doesn't work, man. Not everybody's shit is pumping at the same, speed, but this works and we don't question it really. We just kind of enjoy it. Pump.
Pump you up. Before we get much further, I think we should crack open some of those beers.
Crack some open, dude.
So Benny Brewing Company in Wilkes-Barre teamed up with the band here to make a black leather blues beer, which looks amazing.
That's a cool sound, right?
Sounds amazing, right?
I got you, baby. I got you.
Sample that.
That sounds like a power trio in a can, baby.
It knocked his head off.
It was so powerful.
Power trio. Some people.
Yeah, wait till we get to that.
Some people say you can't bottle this talent, but you can can it. Ow. Cheers. So it's worth noting this is actually a German style Kolsch as far as the style goes. So what that means is that it's actually a lager as opposed to an ale.
Okay.
And so it's what we actually found out with this, and I don't like German style beers typically, but when we did the launch and we played an acoustic show at Benny's place, and everybody from like the dark beer, craft beer lover to the Miller Lite only type of like profile all loved it. It's really a nice middle ground for all different beer connoisseurs or enjoyers or partakers.
When me and Benny sat down and he was like, well, what kind of beer you want it to be? I mean, first of all, like the excitement of doing something for the community, and we'll get to other things like working with other local businesses and stuff. There's so many talented people in our lives and around us, and I want us all to do things together, and we are, and it's great. But we sat down and we're like, well, what kind of beer? And I mean, I'm big on like letting stuff kind of name itself. And you think black leather blues and you kind of immediately think darker beer, at least what I thought.
Right.
And because black.
But just like the dark, yeah. And it's just like
and leather,
the whole thing.
Blues. I mean, like all three of those things like evoke.
There was no blue beer,
I was expecting to feel like motor oil coming out of this can. Yeah.
Right.
But Benny brought up a lot of great points, and that's why he does what he does, and that's why he's great at what he does. He's just like, well, we're getting in the summer. And I know like a lot of my crew and like our crew like loves like Miller Lite and light beers. So I said to Benny, I said, all right, so let's do something, crafty, but something that you could drink 30 of. so we came up with this, and I do like a Hefeweizen, and like, I love that kind of stuff as well. So this is what we came up with, and everybody seems to really dig it, man. So
yeah, it's a nice 5%, so not too much,
good session beer.
Yeah. Right, session beer.
Yeah, right, exactly what you want.
And I'm pretty sure I did drink actually 30 on the opening day of it.
We were close.
Yeah, we're close. Yeah. So we can qualify that statement Dustin just made. Actually, I can.
So yeah, we want to just give a shout out to them and make sure that you pick this up because this is really good.
And it's at a lot of places. It's I know like the Jazz Cafe has it, the Cobbler has it, Wegmans has the list is crazy actually. The Tomato Bar, Franklin's is getting it. Like it's pretty much gonna be everywhere. So that's kind of cool, man. Never did I thought.
Really awesome.
It's crazy when an idea just on my legal pad it just said like call Benny. And then now it's just like, wow, that's what happened. I love when things work out.
It'll be anywhere where we would actually drink. So
perfect.
Yeah. And probably some places we wouldn't.
And that's okay. You know what? They all can't be singers, baby. All right.
Love y'all too.
So going back to our discussion here, what was the first song that you guys wrote together?
Ooh. So I was gonna say I'm not gonna have that answer. Give him the mic.
Queen of the North End.
Was it really?
That was the first tune. I remember that. Matt, like that was the first tune.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's off our self-titled record, and we just brought it back.
See, I would have thought it would be Baby Girl.
No, Baby Girl. We did that in the studio.
Great. Now we're gonna argue about this.
Thanks, Rich.
Welcome to band rehearsal, everybody.
No, Tom, you're wrong.
I could be wrong.
No,
I don't think you are, though. I think you're probably right. You would remember something like that. So yeah, Queen of the North End, which is great because we just played
brought
that
it back.
We just brought it back. We'll play it tomorrow. We played it a few days. Yeah, it's awesome.
So, what keeps you guys as tight of a band as you are? Are you practicing all the time, or because you guys make it look easy, and it's definitely not.
Well, thank you. I mean, we also put in a lot of time by ourselves. I'm constantly playing guitar, and I mean, we all take our craft very seriously. But when we also put in a lot of rehearsal when it's time to put in a lot of rehearsal. And we put in a lot of time together before we go into the studio because we like to kind of be ready. It's time to go to the studio. Being an independent band financially, it's not always the case to be able to just screw around in the studio, and
right?
Walk around and play didgeridoos and stuff. Oh yeah, I cursed. Curse meter. Damn it! Man. It took so long.
That went right by me. I missed that one.
I'm actually pretty impressed. It took you that long.
I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Doris.
We know it's not going to be last time. So yeah, but we do rehearse. I mean, we do rehearse because, I mean, not only, but we like to be tight. And we like to be good. And we like to be able to just not have to worry about what we're doing and kind of be able to perform and have a great time. So instead of but yeah, it's nice to not have to worry about that. But you got to put in the time. You have to put in the time.
Yep. So where did the name come in as Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentleman? That just
man, I wish I had that answer. I don't.
I was actually waiting to hear it.
Yeah, we're all very curious, actually. I honestly think I had a list. I had a working list because I had just put that solo record out, and I kind of wanted to distinguish this as something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have some. I can't remember this actually. There we go. Oh, man.
Money shot, baby. All right. That's what she said. Okay. No, because I remember specifically you wanted Dustin Douglas in it because you wanted to build your brand.
Whatever I already have.
Right. There is, and yeah, I think we even had a conversation. Regardless of what happened with the band, it was Dustin Douglas. It's still,
Man, I protected myself there, huh?
Yeah.
I was ready.
I'm like the archivist of the band too. Yeah. So yeah. DGF. Yeah.
That's cool too, though. We could do that.
That'll be the next album.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Last name
Oh, yeah. Right. It's Electric Gentleman. The Electric Gentleman is.
All right. That's just gosh. So so I remember distinctly. It was again for the purpose of branding and
Sure.
For future.
Well, that's easy. That was my name. So where did
Dustin
the other
Douglas,
part come from?
And then I think it was something with your then girlfriend, now wife, Amber.
She said something.
Yeah, I think you mentioned like it was a conversation that it would happen between you and her.
If it's not, I mean, she'll tell you if you're wrong.
I mean, so she's a woman. So.
Amber, comment if you're watching. Amber, comment.
Amber.
She's like, I had nothing to do with any of this.
She's like, oh wait, now I have it on tape, so you owe me now.
I don't know, but I'll tell you, it's I feel like it was the I remember when I did come up with it, or so whenever I was like, wow, I think that's gonna work. Like I like that, and I still kind of like it, you know. Yeah, because man, I'm not really the best at naming things. So
nope.
No. So I got that one.
And even just like the shorthand of it too is awesome. Like, you know, you have Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentleman. That's a sort of a mouthful sometimes, but just the Electric Gents. You know, you know, there's a lot of different permutations of that you know we can do.
Every time I type it, I say the next band I have is going to be called like
Carrot.
4-letter
like
word.
top. like just be as simple as email, dude. All the handles will be real short. That's too many letters.
So did the logo come from that as well, from that name? The Bolt Man, I think.
Yeah,
is
so
what
that's
he's called?
shout out to our homeboy Dave Fisk out
Davey.
there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Look at that. Look at that pop up, dude.
Yo, how much you paying this guy?
He's the
spot.
man. Yo,
Give him a
my
raise.
man John over there. But yeah, Dave came up with that, and I remember that was really easy too. I think I saw it and I was like, I'm like, well, that's it. I always wanted a logo that was like representative of the band, where if you saw it, like the Rolling Stones tongue,
Right.
You know, or the Zeppelin. I've all that tattooed on me because I was just like, I just wanted something. If you saw it, or if it was on our road cases, you would just know it was our stuff. Maybe now that I think about it, because there were so many words and letters, I was just like, let's just have a logo instead. But no, it's one. I mean, it's so. I mean, people really love the logo, and we love the logo, and it's Dave killed it on that one, man. Killed it.
And you guys continue to use it in such creative ways. You know, you're not just putting it on merchandise, which it does look great on its own, but also like, you know, on the holidays, you're changing it up to different things for social media, which I always thought was really clever, and like stuff like that I think helps in the marketing aspect. You just got to keep in people's minds, I think, is the way that social media seems to work these days. Is it's not even so much of like, here's, you know, every once in a while you want to drop a great piece of content, and I hate using that word, but you know, content.
Y'all do.
But then in between, you still have to kind of remind them like, oh, hey, I'm still here. We're still doing stuff. I still exist, you know, whatever. So how do you do that? And then, you know, little stuff like that, I think, you know, works really well. You know, just put a little Santa hat on the logo.
Those logos are fun, man. Yeah. And people really do. I mean, you know, a lot, I do get messages and people do say how much they love them. And yeah, it's funny. I'll like, and I think, I mean, Dave definitely, I think it was probably where I texted him, I was like, oh, we should make like a Santa one. And then it grew. And you're like, it's Arbor Day. What do we do? Yeah. You know, there's so many days now. It's like
Flag Day.
Yeah, it's
You can't let one go.
yeah. Yep. Or I'll be like, or it's Earth Day. I'll be like, oh man, I forgot it was Earth Day. I'm gonna post this thing. Damn it, it was just 420. I don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of federal holidays. That's what we found out. Yeah.
But I think we have all the major ones down. But man, it's fun, and it's just, it keeps things, like you said, it keeps things interesting, and without, it's subtle marketing. Subtle, which is sometimes some of the best.
Right.
You gotta create one for the Bolt.
The Boltman?
Like it's his day.
Oh.
Yeah. Give him a.
I think he gets the mic after that one.
Whenever you decide what the first Dave maybe of the band is.
Yeah, whenever.
First gig.
There you go.
Do we know when that was?
Or the 10th year, and we can make it the Boltman's birthday.
That's a decade.
Oh.
Old.
That was your first gig?
Yeah. First gig. Our first gig as a 3-piece.
I know exactly what gig you're talking about, too.
Nope. I didn't play that with you. Nope.
I think Novak was on that gig too. Was Novak on that gig with us?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe.
As you could see, I don't remember too much.
I mean, it was 10 years ago.
I know. I wish I was that guy, but I'm not that guy to like have everything documented. I remember the words and the chords. Sometimes.
Like 94%.
Sometimes, yeah, 97. That's a nice.
It works all the time.
Well, speaking of which, when the songwriting process for you guys, does that start with a hook or a riff, or does it start with a lyric, or where does that begin for you guys?
It's could be either of those. A lot of times I'll whip a lot of times as when they know my cell phone's out and I'm like playing it up to they're like, all right, well, he was writing this, he was writing last, he's got an idea, and those ideas just then we kind of workshop them, and then they turn into songs, man. But sometimes it will be like in the shower and I hit on a vocal hook or something.
We had a drum beat, a little bit. That was.
Thank God you let everybody know that. Everybody, just so everybody knows.
Playing all these notes.
There was one that started.
There was one. Dustin's like a little less. Now we got it. I got one. But Matt has one too, though.
Matt's got some ideas, man. Yeah. No, it's which is cool. It's definitely a group project, and then and then it changes, and then it turns into a thing. And I was listening to some of the old demos for some of that stuff. When we used to burn CDs to listen to our demos, I used to put things on the CDs of people that would never want to grab it to listen to, just in case they got stolen or something. So there's a couple that are named like Virus. Yeah. And there's a couple.
And I'd be looking at it like,
there's a couple,
yeah, oh, that's right.
There's like 5 different. There's like Celine Dion Volume 1 through 5, dude.
That's the best.
Yeah, I just found all those CDs and I was listening to them, and
hey, cinematically, it was a great movie. Okay. All right. Actually, it's a funny thing. I mean, when we go through this creative process or document it, okay, like Dustin said, it's, they're ideas that we've recorded over the phone, and that's that. And it could be just a riff, or it could be, a verse and a chorus, or, any combination thereof. But, even this last album, we're still pulling ideas from stuff that we just wrote that's fresh, and stuff from that was archived years ago. I think there might even be like a Celine concept.
Or I mean, there sometimes a session or like a writing session, which is months long, years long. Like I'm writing, in between records, and sometimes it's really good, and you just like. You can't put, especially now, we're not gonna put 20 songs on a record. You know what I mean? Or, right. I mean, double albums are awesome. Don't get me wrong, and we probably will end up doing it someday. And my friend Jeremy Edge just put a double album out. And Rival Sons are putting one out. But like for us, like stuff hangs around, and we'll revisit it, and then we'll rewrite it, or we'll look at it with a different outlook, and then it shows up on a record again. So, yeah, it's a lot of fresh, but then something will be written like 2 days before we're about to go into the studio. And sometimes those end up being our favorite jams, so
they're fresh and we feel good about it. It's like, look at this thing we just got.
There's no rhyme or reason. I don't try to figure it out, but it's just such a beautiful thing. Just come wherever they come from, as long as they keep coming.
That's the main thing, right?
That's it. So that's all I'm worried about.
And you guys recorded 8 Days a Week Studios. Now, have you recorded there previously?
This is our second record there. Second record there. Yeah, with our buddy Paul, who I was in the Badleys with, and it's a great studio. And he's a great engineer, and his ideas and subtleties of. It just makes things just that much better. And, but sonically, I mean, this record, we had a lot of great, he mixed, 2 songs, he engineered it. And then, Brian Monsars from Canada, who's done, a bunch of great things. He mixed all the rest of the record. And then Brian Lucy, who does Black Keys and Arctic Monkeys, and a guy who it's a dream to have him master your record, because he's done every great record in the last. So he mastered it, which is really cool. And so it's a great. I think sonically it's our best record, no doubt about it. And yeah, it's I still like to listen to it, so I'm not over it yet.
That's when it's good.
Yeah,
when you want to listen.
I haven't listened to it in a while because I'm kind of burned out now, but it's okay.
So we have a segment that we've been doing on the show that people seem to really like and respond well to. So when you guys have a new album or an EP, we break it down track by track, and you guys can tell me anything you want about each track. Something that inspired that particular song, maybe a story behind the making of that song, whatever it is that pops in your head.
Awesome.
And we'll go right down the list in order. So
Matt is terrible at song names, so that's why he needed a cheat.
I'm like,
he's already cheating there, ready?
Yeah, it's for the best for all of us. Actually,
it's sort of a thing. Words don't really compute with me as a musician, so that's why I don't sing.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of many reasons I don't sing. Yeah,
I'm ready. All right, let's do it.
So we start with why would you say such a thing?
Yeah. It was later in the record, right? Writing process? Yes. Definitely was later. And I think I just had that riff and I brought it. Tommy will remember everything about it.
It was all about the riff. That's okay. It was so strong. And then it just went real quick from that point.
There's like a disco beat. And then we fooled around with that disco beat.
Well, we have the whole song
for a while.
I've been trying to fit that disco beat into.
Matt's been trying that disco beat for years.
Yeah, years. I was like, guys, no, too soon, not yet.
And then we had it. We had it in like 2 spots, and I was like, no, we're just gonna put it at the end. I think it, and of course, it always ends up working out. All the decisions are, well, at least I think so. But yeah, the disco beat was definitely something. And I remember the lyrics. Me and Brett Alexander sat down and he was like helping me through some of this writer's lyrics block I had, and we came up with that really cool hook, and I like that one. Yeah.
And next we have Burning Down.
That was on one of the CDs. That's been hanging around.
Was that Celine? Was that a Celine Dion?
That might have been Celine Dion Volume 4. No offense to Celine Dion by any means.
We're not saying anybody who doesn't want to. Yeah.
But no, that was one of them that fall into that category.
Something we dug up from.
And I mean, I think it was like finished when I listened to it. I was like, well, this is very similar. I don't think we changed much.
I think we were fooling around with that beginning.
It's a bass.
Came in with this boom. We just came in with the idea, and then it just.
If you screw that song up, you're gonna know.
Oh yeah, it's moving.
It's moving. Once it starts, it doesn't stop.
Lyrically, where are we at with these two songs? Yeah.
Why would you say such a thing? I wanted it to be a very. I mean, it's kind of your standard kind of blues lyric, of like a relationship kind of trouble.
Yeah. And that's I think what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah,
like with a faster sort of pace to it.
I kind of like to do that, like throw in the traditional sense of a phrasing, or vocal melodies, or just the lyric idea. So that's kind of like an old school blues one. And then I don't think I ever had a question chorus, where why would you say, why would you say, so I thought that was cool. Like a question, like, I don't know of too many, I can't really name it too many. And then Burning Down, that's just a burn. It's just no pun intended, but it's a burner. So it's just, they both kind of came pretty organically lyrically. There wasn't too much rocket science going on there.
How about Broken? Now, Broken, you guys released a little while ago.
Yeah, that was about under a year, before the record. So
yeah,
that also was very traditional blues style lyric. I think that, I still listen to that song, and I'm like, yo, that song's badass. So I like that song a lot.
As soon as Dustin had that riff, we just know, like, okay, we're onto something.
Yeah.
It's slower. What else? I don't remember much else about Broken. We did like a session down there that was like, we did this record in like 2 sessions, and that was like one of like 5 songs we recorded, which C'est La Vie was on that too. What else is on there?
I think that's it, actually.
I think it was just them too.
I think there's some stuff that's unreleased.
Well, that came from like the COVID session. So when everything was shut down in 2020.
What's COVID? Yeah, that was like pre, and then like there was like a little break, and then post. So which is cool because like when you do separate sessions like that, you're worried about like it feeling different. But I don't. It's not the case at all. But yeah, Broken. I have to say that Broken is maybe my favorite song of ours.
It is the first to break 10,000 views.
Matt's throwing out some digits
on the tube of views.
Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, but that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. I'll play that. That'll be in our set. It's forever.
It's heavy. It has a little bit of a pop element to it. It's got a heavy yeah. It's slow and deliberate.
Creepy.
I threw a little fieldy bass lick, and right before the pre-bridge, and it was like it's got a lot of.
Have to pay his ass.
All right. Inspiration. Is that what they claim a chord?
Next song.
Moving on.
What is the next one?
Good Love.
Good Love.
Probably my favorite. Aside from that one, it's my favorite song on the record.
Okay.
I'm a huge Black Crowes fan, and it's like very Black Crowes-y kind of.
Very strong song.
I would have it would have been a single if it wasn't so long. I kind of like I
5:35.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
It's not radio friendly.
So like, yeah, right? Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. But I what else do you remember about that? Was that hung around? I think there was like skeletons hanging around of that song before it became.
We pieced that together from like 3 different ideas. I feel like
that one took a lot of times when a song like that happens. You take. It usually turns out to be a shit song. Sometimes the ones that the ones you work the hardest on and put all this time into and do this crazy shit, and it's like, hey, I don't want to play it live now because I'm burned out on it, and like it doesn't connect with people. Sometimes it's the stuff that you write the quickest, but that breaks that rule.
Yes, that tune.
Yeah, I like that one, man. That's all I really remember about.
It's a winner.
Yeah, I dig it.
We'll see. Like you said, it's very Black Crowes-esque, and like maybe not that band specifically, but everybody that hears it, it evokes some type of familiarity to them, though. Maybe not Black Crowes, but they're like, oh, that reminds me of this band or that band or everything. So
it's just a good rock and roll song, exactly. Man. It's just like, it's kind of like that. Here we go. That AC/DC type thing. That kind of inspiration from AC/DC.
Here we go. Royalty number 2.
It's gonna be an expensive
AC/DC, not AC/DC.
But yeah, it's got that kind of like the Angus thing, which man, I always wanted to throw into a song, kind of that. So if you borrow from the best, it's a safe bet,
right? So in the middle, we got Change, which is a very different song, kind of a ballad type song. Yes. Is that what you guys were kind of going for with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think every record up until this point that I ever recorded, I kind of was like, oh, there's got to be a slow song. Like, so I purposely put a slow song on there. So this one, I had no intention to put any slow songs on. I don't even know if you guys know that. I had no intention. I didn't want to do it. And then I came up with that chord progression with like the A minor, F, C. And it sat around and it was funny. It was a very familiar thing. And I think a lot of musicians will vouch when you write something familiar, you're almost like, well, this is something else. So I'm probably just stealing something, but like I read an interview with like, I think it was Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. And he said like, that's a good thing. If you like write something like, even if don't shy away from that, like go into it. So I did. And then I think I had those lyrics written, I mean, pretty much before I sat with Brett to kind of just nip some stuff together. They were pretty much written. I had that whole vibe of just, and it probably just came from just being, I remember like I was a couple days in a row, I just like drove the same route in my car. And I was like, this is driving me crazy, dude. I need a change. And I think it seems to be connecting with a lot of people because I think we all kind of feel like that, man. So one time or another, or or
right, you just need to get out.
Yeah, man. The video was really cool and everything. Jonathan killed the video, and it was kind of the whole like that's a different kind of video for us and for me to do. So I kind of was like, oh man, my biggest fear was that it was going to turn out to be a real cheese fest, because man, you just don't know. We've all kind of seen videos where you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. I mean, it was
terrifying.
More dangerous in the MTV days where a video could make or break you. But I think that's still, there's a lot of now. I think the modern equivalent would be like these pages that highlight cheesy videos. There's one that comes to mind. I'm trying to Catatonic Youths.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I love that page.
It's so funny.
Oh, man,
it's so good. And they take just enough of the video. They don't force you to watch the whole thing.
Right.
They chop up all the best
and
parts.
Some of them are so ridiculous.
And put it in usually under a minute or so. And just that kind of gives you enough.
And a lot of them are local, like these local,
yes,
low budget. But it's very easy for us to do a performance video. Yes. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what we do. We don't have to act at all. But this was kind of like, so I felt the fear and I just went to it. And I think it turned out, everybody's really cool with it. Loves it and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, it's classy. It's got that nice black and white.
I have to. I mean, that's all Jonathan, man. I mean, it's just like he's a great partner that we have in this, and he's just killer, and everything he does is really wicked for us. And there's a lot of stuff coming too, So,
and what's the name of his studio?
Diamond City Studio.
Diamond City Studio.
Diamond City Studio, man.
So Jonathan Edwards,
check that out, man. John's
fantastic. Can't say enough.
Shout out. My man, I'll call you tomorrow.
Because you guys did the "Why Would You Say Such a Thing" video there,
and we did it there. We did a
green screen.
Yes, we never did one before, so I wanted a green screen. So that was fun. We had fun. It's just like that was fun.
And it's also an incredibly, like Dustin said, the first time we shot green screen, and we've done videos before, with or without Jonathan, and it's an amazingly efficient way to shoot a video.
Yeah. Right.
Because you're just doing one shot for the green screen or a couple shots for the green screen, and then everything else is post pro. So it's like it was like whereas when we shot,
it's efficient for us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, well, I don't care about anybody else. Yeah.
Falling asleep.
Yeah. But when we shot Broken, that was more of a live setting. That was what, like a 12-hour day, or that was
12-hour days and negative 12 degrees.
Yeah.
We were broken by the end of Broken.
Oh, boo!
Tommy, go wing in the car, Tommy.
Yeah. Over there.
Yeah.
That was
cold day.
But I like that everyone has been a different experience. Videos. Now isn't it crazy how it kind of like went away? People did, and now it's like a necessity again.
It really has become a thing. Like there's a band recently, a friend of mine turned me on to, and I know that a million people probably knew them before I did, but Spirit Box.
Okay.
And they have these amazing female vocals that can go from like the soaring stuff to like the super heavy scream kind of stuff. And she can do it all in one take. She's amazing. And they built this band during COVID and got big because of their really well-made music videos. They just, every single that they had, they put out a new music video that had a different vibe or director or whatever the case may be, that just they all looked so good. They all got millions of views. So right off the bat, like before they could even get on a stage, they already had a fan base built up ready to see them. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
It's crazy, totally reverse of what has ever, and how it's always been.
Right.
And like none of us in this band.
Okay.
Instagram. Oh, and
we are back.
It wasn't even long enough to go take a leak. But as we were talking about, yeah, it's like totally backwards. But I mean, I got to give props because none of us, like, I got to give props to these a lot of people in the younger generation are like recording their own stuff, playing their own stuff, making their own videos. Like, we have to rely on very talented people to do that stuff for us, you know?
Right.
But man, there's people out there that are just doing it all. And man, it's crazy to think, because I mean, there's not enough hours in the day,
to do all of
to just play the stuff. Yeah. But I got to give props to these younger generation who are doing that stuff. And not me, man. It's hard enough to play guitar.
Yeah, I enjoy showing up and playing one note at a time in the bass register, and
I don't see Matt getting down with any movie maker app anytime soon. But you know, it takes time and it takes a lot of talent. It's it's cool. Every time I say I'm going to do it, you know, try to save some money or something, I'm always like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this.
We'll just play a couple casino gigs and have somebody. So what else do it for?
Yeah, man. Whatever we gotta do, man.
For what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do.
For those who haven't seen the Broken video, that was in like the Iron Temple. Is that what?
Yeah.
So I mean, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But totally, obviously, it's been neglected for a long time and fallen apart. But wow, what a set piece! Like, you couldn't pay for something that looks like that.
It was funny. Like, I forget who first brought the idea up, and then, you know, we made some calls to make it happen, and there was a few people that were very influential in making it happen, and then Jonathan assembled this amazing crew, and it was a big crew. I mean, there was cranes and there was some crazy shit. But when I tell you that we had a heater, we had Tommy's heater, we had a couple, you know, pretty ragged heaters. When I left and we finished loading all the gear into our trailer, I literally thought that my foot was gone. Like, it was frozen.
Yeah.
But it looks great. You know,
Right.
There was a couple, it's funny you say it's like there was a couple dead birds upstairs and stuff. We had a sweep up, you know.
We had a ballerina.
But yeah. And she killed it too. She did a great job.
Alex,
Alex kills it.
Yeah, she's great.
She's very talented, and that added to it. And it just, I mean, that crew, I can't say enough, because I mean, they were as cold as we were. You know, they were definitely as cold as we were. But I think they just got, like, I know they're trying to raise some money to make that thing happen. I think they just got some money. So it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah. It'd be great to see that.
We don't like to really travel too far to make our videos.
You know, why?
Why? When you have amazing, beautiful things in your own town, right?
When you have rundown facilities and the walking distance of your house.
Right. Not what I was thinking.
You know,
Get
it. The sentiment's there.
So then we back to our track list. We have What You See.
Yeah, how did that come about? T? Do you remember? That's later, I think.
We were
later.
Trying to do a surf song, weren't we?
We like had a surf type style song.
Yeah.
And then that kind of
Two of them, I think. I'm not sure on that. We had it for a while.
That was very like Rolling Stones on steroids kind of thing. I thought, like, when I wrote it, I was like, yeah, this is kind of Stonesy. Like, Tommy, the drums in that are killer, and we laughed. I was like, dude, why are we're getting older yet we made our fastest record ever? Like, usually it's the opposite, you know. You start to, but there's some really faster. I kind of went into the writing process knowing that I wanted it to be a little bit more driving, a little bit more upbeat, and have the BPMs be a little faster. I did know that, whether I told you guys that or not.
No, I think we actually talked about it.
I think it was I just wanted it to be, and that's why, like, Change and we'll get to it, but Barely Holding On, like, they just made their way into the record because they just, like, organically, you know, I didn't want any of that. I wanted it to be like an AC/DC record.
You got to pump the brakes every now and then, though, and give the listener a little bit of a reprieve from you know, everything else going on.
After playing 2 hours straight, the jazz the than that. I think the next record is going to be all ballads.
Boom.
Real slow record. It's coming up. Love songs.
Next up, we have C'est La Vie.
That's that original.
That was on the
set.
Celine Dion tracks.
That was the original COVID, like pre-COVID session.
Yes.
And I know it took there was a couple different mixes, and I just knew it didn't sound the way that I wanted it to sound. It's actually a very one of our more like current sounding. There's that middle section that's really cool, and like there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. And that's the first song I ever sang in falsetto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a great song.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. Yeah. I think, and what's funny is I think I entertained not putting it on the record. Because there's another song we didn't put on the record that came from that session that is unreleased at this time. And it was kind of in that vein. And I was like, well, maybe I should save these. I'm always want to like save it for something. It's like, I don't know what I'm waiting for, but the way things are going. But no, I'm glad I put it on. And it was also like, if it took a while, but I finally got the right mix. And once I heard it, and it's funny because it's like one of the original mixes that happened.
Yeah.
So there it is. And it's ready. And now it took a while to rehearse that one too, until I got comfortable with it. But it's good. Sometimes when you feel uncomfortable and something's different, some of the best stuff comes out of it. I really believe that. What's next?
Next up, we got Gonna Take This Train.
Go ahead, T.
Where do we start with this one?
I have no idea where anything comes from. I don't remember where.
This is a fresh one though, as far as I can.
Everybody, Josh Balls
cameo in the background.
Josh Balls, thank you. You know we have allergies. But yeah, Take This Train is one of my now favorite songs to play in the set.
It's growing.
Do you remember where it came from?
Yeah,
I think it was later, man. I don't remember. Is it even real? I don't know.
Is it on the record?
Is that an AI song?
We love the tune, but is it on the record?
What's next?
I will say one thing, commenting that actually tops out at the final and fifth song in Drop D on the album.
There we go. A tune.
50% of the songs on this album are
guitar. Is there 50%?
It's 50%.
For all you guitar. Yeah, we're so heavy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting an 8-string guitar actually to be able to handle it. See you, Josh. I'll talk to you later. And then, so that's another thing, the whole Drop D thing. Although I've been writing in Drop D for a very long time. So that's just, that's the last one. It's actually open D for me.
Noted.
I gotta take 90 guitars out with me. I do like that one. That's one of my favorites to play live off the record.
Okay.
100%. Right now, that's number one. Something about it's real tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And what?
It'd be you guys in like Limp Bizkit, right? Drop D.
Yeah, man. Listen, we're no strangers to throwing on Limp Bizkit on our rides home.
My favorite saying is live, laugh, Limp Bizkit. Okay? So
shout out to West Borland.
Yeah.
No joke though. We do listen to a lot of Limp Bizkit, so say what you will. We're not embarrassed about that whatsoever.
When we were talking earlier about my tenure at Auntie Anne's Pretzels, it was and I was in the back,
listening to Limp Bizkit.
Hustling, yeah. It was interesting enough. It was Limp Bizkit or Creed. Throw a weird Scott Stapp thing, but anyways, yeah.
Well, it's good. Thanks to everybody tuned in to our farewell podcast.
It was 24 years ago. Oh my gosh. I've grown. I've learned. I've had inspiration. Whatever. Okay, next song.
So
his own band has grown.
They all just left. That is very true.
Live, laugh, Limp Bizkit. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay?
So we have a fun thing where somebody will take turns being like DJ on the way home from some of our gigs, and we're on the road and we're playing, and you never know what you're gonna get. But oftentimes Limp Bizkit does show up. Usually on the way, when we start to fall asleep, because we need to put the windows down, and Slipknot as well. Yeah, we listen to it all, man.
And Creed.
I think it has made its way.
Oh, hey, My Own Prison was a banger of an album.
Here we go.
Okay, I don't care what you say. It was my battleship of albums.
This podcast is brought to you by Creed.
Scott, stap it. Okay.
We
Next
got
one.
two more. Do what you want to do. Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That came quick. That was fast. That was just like that's like one of them. I think a couple records ago there was a song called Baby Girl, and they're kind of they just kind of yeah, you open your mouth and it all just comes out kind of deal. So, and I had those lyrics early. I think it might have started with a lyrical idea, and then it's kind of like a ZZ Top kind of vibe I get out of it. I wanted that kind of like,
it's a very simplistic approach to the riffs and the structure.
Yeah, that's like one of the more simple songs on the record, and it's definitely old school Us, more so than some of the more new school Us. It's whatever.
I'll agree with that.
Have we been together long enough that we actually have an old school and new school designation?
I don't think so.
It
feels like it.
Yeah.
When the 10 years.
Then I can say that. All right.
We'll draw a line.
Greatest
hits. There you go. 10 years.
Greatest misses.
That's the year we get bored.
Greatest misses.
That's when our ballad album's coming out.
That's when the ballad album and our 10 to 20 year farewell tour.
And then we have Barely Holding On.
Yeah, that's another slow one that creeped in, which I have no clue where it came from. I think I wrote it on acoustic. I think I had a batch of slower tunes, and that one's I kept going back to that one. And I think it like really came together acoustic first, and then we kind of just I gave it to you guys. And I know that you guys like really killed. There's some of my favorite bass lines that you've done on that. There's like this real slow kind of walk up, slide up. And then the drum, everything's real tastefully done, because sometimes it's very hard to record a song that's that open.
Right.
Yes. It's like there's a fourth member of the band and it's space, But man, yeah. And butchered it the other night. But it can only get better from there.
We can never talk about that.
We're just gonna say 6/8 time, and
it was a perfect night until that song. It happens though, man. It's rock and rolling, man. So it happens.
You can't subdivide 6/8 into 4/4.
We'll never play it worse.
Yeah.
7/8 or something.
Never gonna play it worse.
So you did the rare thing of not having a title track. So you called the album Black Leather Blues.
Mm-hmm.
What made you choose that title?
There was a few titles that we were throwing around, and when the title came way later than everybody probably wanted it to. The label and our publicist and everything, and I was like, yeah, I'll have the name. And my back was definitely up against the wall. And then when I heard, I think I just listened I was listening to the record, and I think I had the sequence down, and then I just like had those words just came out, and I was like, man, it's kind of what it sounds like, it's like,
it's kind of us. I mean,
it's just like blues, but it's like, I hate using like just the last thing we are is badass. I mean, but like badass, just tough. It's like tough guy blues,
Let's call a spade here. You wear a lot of black leather, Dustin.
I wear a lot of black leather.
We play in a
but that
blues.
Had nothing to do with it.
Oh, come on.
It gave me an excuse to buy a lot more.
Oh.
He gave me an excuse to buy a lot more of them. Wait till the summer comes in July. I'm wearing it. Jean shorts. Sweating at a festival in my leather jacket.
And of course, and then he throws this idea out there, and I'm trying to be a little crafty. I'm like, oh, how about blue leather blues?
And I said, nope.
Well, no. Yeah. Oh, I replied with the very first image that shows up on Google when you search for blue leather.
Yeah, I was like, I think my reply was
like this big diesel guy.
I said, I think I replied, who the fuck wears blue leather? I don't have any of those.
Nobody part of our tribe.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the songs and the sound of the record kind of dictated that. Like I said before, I like things when they organically kind of name themselves. Right? I try to listen to what's going on in universe to not sound too, but and it's just
that was definitely a no-brainer. When he said that to me and Matt, we're like, yeah, perfect.
I think I set out in the group.
Now break it down, and we had that concept spinning around. It was a little different, took more time.
Yeah, I feel like this is the best record we've done, and I think I love the title of the album. I love it. It all just kind of came together. It all just worked out, man. Oh, and there it is.
There you go.
There it is.
Wow.
In fact, we can put that on the screen.
Oh, we're getting a little flying effect.
Mr. Friday. So we're not both pressing the same button at the same time.
There it is. The graphic.
And we have the Undertaker on the front cover.
Yo, did you see somebody say
that's where I got. Where do you think I got it from?
I was going to ask if you guys saw it.
Yeah. So
I mean, first of all, no offense taken. Because
it's not a bad comparison. No,
because let's be real, he's a badass man.
Yeah. Like, only the most badass WWF, wrestler who, like Jesus just kept raising from the dead.
I'm so happy that you saw that.
So the backstory for the people that don't know what we're talking about. For our official album release show was at the Jazz Cafe here locally, right. And like many other bands, we had an event for it on Facebook that was sponsored. It kept pestering people and poking you in the face every time you pulled up your Facebook feed, and the very first comment was just like some random kid on there that I don't know who he is or where he is or whatever, but
I'd like to.
He's like, I didn't realize that the Undertaker came out of retirement.
It's like the Undertaker's other career or something. I read it. I was dying. I was dying.
I was like, and like usually I'm gonna be like, like if anybody says
start a fight on there.
Yeah. Usually if anybody says anything derogatory, then I'll get cheeky with them before they realize that that I'm a member of the band, whatever. Right. And again, not for any reason than just to like sort of mess with them.
Troll.
And I was like,
troll.
Troll. I would troll them.
Sometimes
Yeah. And but I was like, I approve of this message. Yeah.
I laughed. It made me laugh. I felt good about that.
Yeah, I was like, man, we should put him on the guest list. Come on.
Who, the Undertaker? Yeah.
Which one?
If you're watching, which one?
Like 1992? Pretty sure he's dead.
Well, the title made me think of, that there's so many trends in, especially in music. You have, anything from disco to hair metal. You have these looks that for a moment are really hot. And then we look back on them. We're totally ashamed and don't understand why anyone would think that's cool. But black leather has always remained cool.
It is
all across genres and everything.
It always will be. I mean, I think it's just the James Dean thing. It's the,
originator.
It's just
the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was always like the people that were on the fringe and kind of, whether it was, the biker culture,
right,
the greaser culture, or the rock and roll guys. And it's yeah, man. It's funny. Like my niece, I bought her like her first. I always make sure that it's like I bought her first motorcycle black leather jacket. Like my brother just had. Dad had his first son, Ezra, and I was like, can't wait to get him his first leather jacket. It's like just a rite of badass passage, but it is a very rock and roll. You can't screw that up fashion wise. Like you put a black pair of jeans on and a leather jacket, and you could head out on stage and look like you're, even if you don't know what you're doing, You could look like you do.
Look like
You look like you know what you're doing. Yeah.
It is true though, man. I mean, it is the one iconic thing because boy,
black leather predates even that. I mean, it's military jackets before that. I mean, literally the first clothing. Like, what do we start off with? Tannin animal hides. So it's had so many iterations, and because of that, it's timeless. And
it's also really good, like to fall in. You don't really scrape up anything.
I fall a lot too. So,
Matt wears it so he doesn't scrape up his skin.
It's very supple.
Well, you guys always have like a very cool look on stage. Like you guys are kind of, I don't want to say matching, but like synchronized in some form or another. Where you guys come out and you look like a band, which I know is a weird thing to say. But like I see a lot of bands, and not all. Some people show up, and it's like none of these guys look like they have even shared a room together before. Never mind a stage. But you guys come out and you have this kind of image that I think, obviously it's all about the music, but I think that does help elevate it in a certain way, or at least add some kind of presentation to the whole thing that maybe is missing from a lot of music.
I mean, they'll vouch. I'm sure they have their. For me, it was always part of the fun, dude. Like you get on stage and you kind of get on your costume, and I think it started with my love for Elvis too. Like, speaking of black leather, like that's the coolest like comeback special. But
right.
I think for me, that's where it came from. Like, and fortunately or unfortunately for these guys, I've forced my ways on them. But it is true. I mean, any band you see out there that's like doing it, for real, and like doing the thing, it's like. Image is just part of it all, man. I mean, image is part of the music, and
just feel good when you go onto the stage, like
right.
And it's like now I'm ready to play.
Yeah. You feel like a performer, like a real like I did theater for a little while. I'd love to do it again someday. But it's the same. I feel like they're very connected in that sense. It's like once you put on the makeup and the costume and everything, you get out there, you are that person now. You are the character. You're not.
Yeah, I try to instill it. I try to instill it on all my friends. but but it's like, for me it's fun. I mean, aside from music, I do love like the fashion world and that whole thing too. I don't think that's a secret. But yeah, man, that's part of the game. You put your and I think it also came from like having a basketball uniform on in grade school or something, or in high school too. It's like this is our battle gear, man. Yeah. We're going out, and
I mean, I've always said, I mean, we're performers first, musicians second. I mean, and it goes back to your original query with the Boltman, the logo. I mean, it's all branding. Doesn't matter what you're selling, okay, whether it's music or cars or cans of corn on a grocery eye. It's image and branding is the most important thing, almost as important as the product you're actually putting out itself.
Yeah, and with that being said, like people have said, you guys are great at branding, and man, I wish I could say that it was all thought out, but man, fortunately it just kind of, we know what not to do, and we, so it kind of just all
shorts. I wore that was like first year we were playing together. I wore a pair of shorts on, like, no, it was balls hot this day. Okay, it was like
I probably lost my mind.
It was like 104 degrees outside.
I know.
Yeah.
I know where we were in the woods somewhere. I think. Right?
No, that's Stroudsburg. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyways, shorts don't work on stage. Don't ever do it, kids. Okay.
Don't wear shorts on stage, kids.
Even as a humble open mic host, I have learned not to wear shorts on stage, because then I immediately go, "Oh, jorts!"
Right.
This guy. I'm like, when did that become a thing that we make fun of? Like, we're not allowed to wear jeans.
Now,
shorts?
as soon as I get off the stage, we put on some shorts.
Oh, I have jorts. I mow my grass in jorts. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like,
There's a time and a place for them. but I'm also very.
what is my other option? Khaki shorts? Then I'm like super white. Like I'm white, but like, geez, I might as well just beam light at that point. Like, come on.
Oh, are we gonna have
if you want to have a white off here, buddy, okay, I'll go as low as you want to on these buttons.
Is this a pigment competition?
Yeah. I'm translucent. Okay. They call me Casper back in the day. Okay.
Well, I got you on top.
Trust me, I'm crowning on top too. I just put my special products in for good coverage every morning.
Sure. You guys should talk. The next podcast, you see Rich and his hair is like,
just
like, man, that shit did work.
Huge locks and curls. Yeah. It's like I'm back, baby. yeah. I got my hair back and my khakis, and I've been tanning.
Say something now, kids.
Yeah. Come to the next open mic. I dare you.
But yeah, man, it's just part of the thing, dude. Yeah, if you want people to take you seriously, it's kind of that thing, man. Like, what do they say? Dress for the job that you want.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You dress for the job you want, and I mean, I always wanted to be in Aerosmith. So
there you go.
There you go.
Next up, lip injections.
You got
I got a guy for everything.
We know.
Huzzah.
Let's talk about some of this. We're talking about wearables. Let's talk about some of this cool merch we got
this
here.
beer. I mean, like I said, we talked about doing like collabs with some local people. So my great friend Nick D. We'll do the hat first. We had this black leather patch from Duval Leather. So Nick makes like the best, leather stuff. That's cool, man.
So it's Nick D at Duval Leather, right?
Nick D at Duval Leather. And check out all the stuff he does there. And so we're doing, for sale on our website and at our gigs. But I wanted to do a collab with like all my friends, Nick was in Spitcan and Syphilis coming when I was coming up through the ranks, and we've continued to be friends all this time. So I was like, let's do something together.
Yeah.
So we came up with that idea. We have two different styles. This is like the black trucker and then the gray one. And then I was like, man, let's do some jewelry because, well, I like jewelry. So my good friend who like made my wife's custom wedding,
ring,
and the ring was the word. So we got these like sterling silver. I wanted, real stuff, stuff that's not going to tarnish. So we got like a pick necklace.
Oh, that's cool.
And we got these. He does like lyric beads from everyone from Blue October to Dave Matthews, like right out of Luzerne. Oh. So Marco Jewelers, man.
Oh, you know what? I've heard of some of the stuff that he was doing. Yeah, it looks really cool.
So he was like, "You want a lyric on a bead?" And I was like, "Man, let's just put the bolt, man, because I'm broken." Right. Probably. I don't know if that's gonna work so well. Gonna take this.
How do you get compensated per lyric?
Cool. And I told him, I said, I want you to make me I want a custom one, dude. I want you to make me something really cool. So I want you to surprise me. So that's, they're for sale on our website too. Just cool merch ideas. Then we got a bunch of new t-shirts. So like you said, from Axelrad and my boy Tyler, and always keeping it fresh there. And yeah, it's all fun stuff, man. The way nobody buys records, so you have to,
right.
You have to.
You gotta get them.
I said the other day. Somebody said the other day, they're like, "Yeah, man, I'm just like a traveling T-shirt salesman." And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of it."
However, we are releasing this album on vinyl, though.
Yeah, we're gonna
one thing that people will.
Yes,
buy.
Yeah. And we're gonna re-release it in about 2 months on vinyl. Give it kind of a second life, and get it on some wax, man, because I think statistically records just outsold
for the first time since 1989.
Is that what it is? Yep.
Vinyl has outsold compact discs.
I heard
and
about that.
and then we're going to re-release it after on 8 tracks.
Keep going back and back and get some.
Because everyone always said, "Man, that 8 track,
okay.
Man, that 8 track sounded real good."
Too bad we used more than 8 tracks to record the album. So you're just going to get like kick drum, vocals, bass, couple
oohs, ooh.
Yeah. Maybe some like overhead mics from the drums. Okay.
That's funny. 8-track's coming out your way.
Did I see you guys for the release show? You had some like leather keychains.
Yeah, Nick did. We gave out to the first 100 people through the door. We gave out a leather keychain.
That's pretty cool.
With the Boltman on it.
With the Boltman. Yeah. It'd be fun. It'd be cooler if it didn't have the Boltman be like, "Oh, thanks for this leather keychain."
This random piece of leather.
Shit. Thanks for coming.
Well, the new thing with the kids with the ASMF. What is it called? The ASMR. No. So you can you rub it on your face and get a nice tingly sensation.
There you go, Dave.
While you listen to the album.
We're here for everyone, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We don't discriminate.
But no, they're really cool. I think we're gonna do another line. They were a big hit, so people are asking about them too. So I think we're gonna bring back. We're gonna get another set of those, and man, everything's really good. And I'm glad to have great friends that do great things. You know, again, shout out to Nick D at Duval Leather and Marco Jewelers, and there's just so many people, man. Benny, you.
Oh, appreciate it.
And we really appreciate it. All the support you've always given us, man.
We do try to propagate local. You know,
we do.
You know,
any one of
those things could have been ordered from some high volume outfit.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Anywhere in the world. But it's because of the opportunity that we've been given. You know, with so why not give back? So that's why why we're on this podcast. Why we play shows at the Jazz. Why we source and collaborate how we do. So.
Yeah, I mean, we chose this time very, very, it was on purpose that we wanted to do all this stuff locally, and because you're getting, and it's all real shit,
right?
It's the good shit.
Hey, do we have any questions? Did anybody dial in?
Is anybody even watching this? More importantly, do we have any questions? Is anybody watching?
So we have Kevin asks. Saw y'all at Montrunk last October. You really rocked the house. We are fans for life and cannot wait to get the new album.
Kevin, I appreciate that, brother. We're actually we're headed there tomorrow. We're playing at the Opera House tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, and they do like this early kind of show. It's like a 7:30. I mean, I think the whole show's over by 9 o'clock, and it's kind of a really. I mean, if you haven't been there, it's like one of the coolest theaters. It's like this real small theater, and at the top of the hill in downtown Jim Thorpe, PA. And yeah, tickets are on sale, and they'll be on sale tomorrow. And we're looking forward to maybe we'll play Barely Holding On Right. Or maybe it won't be in the set anymore.
Lost but not forgotten.
Thank you, Dave, man. It's good to I really appreciate that.
And we hope to see you there tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Dave, right?
And if not, then somewhere down the line, brother.
I'm sure those shows have an interesting vibe compared to other shows. Being in an opera house, being in a theater setting as opposed to
the sound is really great. Usually in those kind of places, and we've been fortunate enough to play there a handful of
quite
times.
a bit actually.
Yeah, and I mean I've done it with the Badleys. I mean I don't know, you might have done it with Mike, and I've gotten to do it solo, and it's people there are great, and they're really supportive of what we do, and it's a cool scene out there in that town, man.
It's a cute little town. A lot to do.
Yeah, and again, like tomorrow's early. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it's Thursday, man." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But 7:30 we start, and no opener. It's just an evening with us. So, yeah, come on down if you're not doing anything. We're gonna have some fun. What else we got? It's my mom. Hi, Mom. What's up? It'd be so funny if somebody was like, "Yo, Matt, you remember that $10 you owed me?" Yeah. Got you now. Wait.
Yo, got you.
Probably for cursing.
Probably for cursing.
The question is, what do I owe the money for?
But now I'm gonna get grounded.
Actually, I'm very good with my debts.
Hey. Jason, what up? I like that.
And we have this question, interesting one. How do you feel about the Spin Doctors playing the Fine Arts Fiesta? That was just announced the other.
I saw it. Yeah.
So I just saw it yesterday. Do we know when it is? Like when they're playing?
Friday night.
It's the Friday night?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we're playing. But
we're in Hazleton.
I would totally. I mean, I think I like the Spin Doctors a lot. I still love the snare sound on all those tracks, man. It's so right.
So the Spin Doctors actually, like, I mean, there's a often used convention in the jam band scene that the Spin Doctors are one of the OG true jam bands, or OG drug bands, as some people call it. Because they I mean, if you went to their concerts back in, like, the 90s, I mean, it was a party. Like,
right.
I mean,
they played the Kirby Center in '92,
right?
Yeah,
and that was probably awesome. And that was like those bands, Blues Traveler,
and
and they're still they're all still killing it.
And they played for long, and I mean, it was like, so they actually have a lot of.
They don't have just one hit. Like, they have some jams, dude. I think it's cool, and whoever got them to play the Fine Arts Fiesta.
Yeah,
that's props to them. I mean, maybe all the money was spent on the doctors, and now there's not going to be any. There ain't no lawyers.
That's all you get. Spin doctors.
That's it.
Well, that's the thing too. Is I did see some comments of people like, oh yeah, great, one hit wonders coming out, blah blah blah. You got to think of it this way: it's going to bring so many people down to an event that some people still don't know exists. This is the 67th year, and I still saw comments of going, "There's a Fine Arts Fiesta." Like, people don't know that this stuff is happening. Might bring them to downtown Wilkes-Barre. They get to see, what kind of art is available out there, what kind of businesses are in Wilkes-Barre right now. It's a huge boost for the local economy. You're going to have people from out of the area coming in here to check it out.
And
I love it, man. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win all the way around.
You actually
actually
bring up a great point, because I mean, I read through the comments on a lot of the various posts on it, and there was some, a little guff being put out there, just regarding it, and goes, what local artists are going to play, and we've been fortunate enough to play the Fine Arts Fiesta.
We played it before. Right?
I've played it in other bands before, and to your point, it's okay to change up the formula every now and then,
right?
And
exactly.
Try something new. And as you just articulated very well, it's, hey, this is actually putting it on the map, like more so, and the purpose is to get people down there to buy art from artists.
Exactly, right?
And to support the local businesses around there too as well. So
people help to do that.
and right.
And
I think it's great, man. I think it's super cool. Like, I'll definitely, I mean, if we can't go Friday because we're playing, I'm definitely gonna go. I always go regardless, get some food, look at the art. And I mean, you think being a musician's hard, try being a painter or an art, you know what I mean? So any notoriety towards, my mother's a painter, she's an artist, and we all have. I mean, your family loves the art community and the whole thing. It's for anybody to be paying attention to that, and to bring in a band like the Spin Doctors, like one hit wonder, dude. I hope to God we are a one hit wonder,
right?
Mic drop.
Let's just hope this year doesn't rain.
Well, I know, because it always
every year it rains at the Fine Arts Fiesta.
And factually, they're wrong, because they're a two-hit wonder. All right.
Yeah, man.
They had two hits off just that album,
which is nearly impossible to do.
Right. That's really hard to do. Yeah.
And Tim and Eric have a great skit where they kind of make fun of the Spin Doctors. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh no, I don't.
It's
think
really,
I've seen that
it's
one.
really
I
good.
I actually have a Frisbee.
Spin Doctors Frisbee?
Autographed by the Spin Doctors.
I think you should throw it at them while they're playing. You should jack it right into their neck.
That's what I'm sticking up for them. But yeah. That's been like my inspiration for the past 24 years of my life.
I have devil sticks signed by the Spin.
I think it was my dad got it for me. He went to see him and he's like, I got this, Yeah. it's actually a Spin Doctors Frisbee signed by the Spin Doctors.
Are we gonna have to get Frisbees?
Merch.
Oh man, see what I mean? Now I'm selling Frisbees.
Yeah, but hey, functional merch though.
That's right.
Autographed Frisbee.
We love
that's extra.
right. That's I guess.
I think the only other thing I didn't get to was since we're talking about the album, how did you guys hook up with MoMojo Records? Could you tell us a little bit about them and how that came together?
Yeah, I mean, it's fortunate enough that this is the first. We signed an independent one record deal with MoMojo Records, which is a little indie label out of Lancaster. They're a subsidiary of a blues label. And it just, or that really organically happened. I had a few meetings and everyone there at the team. It just felt right. I go with my gut a lot. You have to go with your gut in this life. If something feels wrong, it's probably because it's wrong. But if it feels right, you got to take that chance, man. So it, they're doing a lot of great distribution for us. And it was just stuff, and it's not like one of those deals where you feel like your back's up against the wall and you know, and you have to, and they wanted to work with us because they wanted to work with us. And I want to work with them because they wanted to work with us. No, man, but the whole team there, they know how much I appreciate what they do, and it's really cool. And yeah, man, it's just every record seems to just be bigger and better, and that's all I could really ever hope for, is just to keep progressing.
I was going to say, what are your plans now that the album is out there and whatever? Do you have anything kind of in the works for the rest of the year, or any kind of goals you have to
I mean,
go with this record?
We're going to play our asses off like we always do. We spend a lot of time playing gigs throughout the year, so it's nice to have, it's been a minute since we supported. I mean, we're doing a lot of press, we're here, and it's going to continue. We feel that this record is worth the time and the effort and the whole thing. So we got a great, got SRO, publicists, and so it's cool, man. We're just going to keep chugging, but we are going to, we're going to start writing a new record very soon. Because we got to, we're going to keep
circle around.
We're going to keep it, yeah, and we're going to keep it, yeah. We'll see you in a little bit.
Keep that momentum.
Absolutely.
Going, yeah.
That's kind of where the industry is too. It's, man, you got to just keep striking, and everything's moving real fast. But we're going to just keep putting out some videos and cool content, and we're just extremely blessed to have people that, I don't care if it's 5 people, I don't care if it's 500 people or 5,000. that want to listen to what we do and come out. And the older I get and the more records I put out, I just really want that, I appreciate the simple things of, it's a bunch of dudes, buddies that get on stage. Fortunately, the stuff we do sounds cool and people dig it. And it means the world to me, man. It really does.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah. I mean, yes, the album's awesome. We're very proud of it. It's, hands down our best album. Yes, our branding is cool. Yes, we dress cool. All those cool things. Checkbox. But, our biggest strength is our live show.
Yeah.
We are a live band, and that is what sells people, and that's what people appreciate. Yeah, you talked about the tightness, before the earlier segment. That is something that it gets repeated and reiterated and observed time and time again.
It just comes from playing gigs, man.
And so that's you ask what's next. We're going to revert back to what we do best, and that's what Dustin said. We're just going to play shows and give people, there's nothing that is left off the table at the end of our performances. So.
And out of those shows, I'll be like, man, you know what we need in the set? We need a song like this, and then we write a song like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of sometimes the set kind of dictates it's all real good right now, Rich. It's all real good.
That's good to hear.
And we just gonna just enjoying every second of it, man. Because why not? What else we can do? Just gotta play. It's all the young bands out there, man. Just play every freaking gig you possibly can, man. That's how you get tight.
Right.
And thank you for anyone that listened to the record. I think you should put that on now. I feel like we're kind of gearing down. Now's your time, dude. Y'all are lucky he didn't have this on the whole time. We kind of wanted it to. Now we're ready to go.
That works.
Next question.
The Emperor orders you to get this album.
Yes,
download it, stream it, whatever.
Please do. Anywhere where music is streamed, and videos are out there, and DustinDouglasMusic.com.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on.
Thanks, Rich.
Greatly
appreciate it, man. Thanks,
thank
buddy.
you. Ow! Oh God, that hurts. Oh my God, get this off me.
Thanks everybody watching.
And Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentlemen will perform at the Mon-Chunk Opera House in Jim Thorpe this Thursday, April 27th at 7 p.m. So if you can make it out, make sure you make it out to that show. They got some other stuff coming up too, so check their website for their tour schedule. And the new album, Black Leather Blues, is available now on all major streaming platforms. So, yeah, thanks again for hanging out with us. And I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please like, please comment, please share, do all the good algorithm stuff to get this out to more and more people. And drink some Black Leather Blues. If you're going to listen to it, you got to have the beer that goes with it. So thank you to Benny Brewing, by the way, for letting me pick these up. These are quite good, and I will probably go back this weekend and get more.
Yeah, boy.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much, and have a good night. We'll see you here next week.